I'm Phoenix Wright, and I'm about to need to defend Miles Edgeworth once more.
I'm afraid I don't understand either.
It's clear from the luminol test that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, allegedly, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood. That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer. I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible.
That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room. So what you're saying...
Let's look at the chart again. What time could that have been?
I mean, 10 minutes isn't even enough time to eat a T-bone steak, so...
Yeah. There's only one other card number remaining. 7777777.
Talk about a lucky number.
But wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room?
Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 7777777.
God.
Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. I'm down with the children. I'm hip with the kids. Find out whose ID number is 777777777.
That's 1 7 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least, at present. What?
Explain yourself, son.
The ID number 7777777 belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher.
Oh?
Someone who is a so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity.
That seems...
Objection! But that's ridiculous. Just how... I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There is one situation in which we can be granted such authority.
If an official charge filed against an executive is accepted.
An official charge?
You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates. Sounds like someone is considering quitting the police.
Objection! I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself.
Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask a question.
Yes?
No, not to you. To her. The defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive.
Lana? Objection! Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course we've looked up her ID number. And it's not 7777777.
Please stop saying it.
No.
Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing. About that incident.
The SL9 incident?
No, the DL6.
Fuck!
Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence?
Oh shit.
This is now an attack.
Now I'm on the witness stand.
This is a call-out post.
I think she might technically still be in the defendant's chair, it's just that they use the same background. Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor?
Or maybe they had her brought up to the stand.
I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth.
2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time,
Occasionally, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did.
Huh.
Lana.
Oh, everyone is really in this conversation.
I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law.
Defendant, just what are you saying?
I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did? I'm taking my hat off so you can tell I'm serious.
Chief Prosecutor, you didn't.
I don't have to, Officer Marshall.
Why won't you answer him?
Drastic crimes require drastic measures.
They really don't.
That's just the way it is. If the crime is bad enough, doesn't matter what we do.
Yikes.
We did what we had to, in order for him to get the verdict he deserved.
But Lana.
Even if it involved forging evidence.
See? That's what I'm talking about.
No. No!
Wow.
Oh my god!
Oh my god,
What the fuck?
he screamed.
Order! Order! Order!
The chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of the trial would have to wait until the following day.
Can't believe our judicial system's been shit this entire time.
I'm leaving. They're gonna have to continue this trial the following day.